Chasing the Present here, a bit of a prelude to this episode 0 of the ItsAChas. If you've not yet to watch episode 1, watch episode 1 first. Don't start here. Watch episode 1 first. We kind of introduce ourselves and what this is. Go watch that first. This was a spur of the moment. We did not know we were going to do a podcast until the tail end of this stream, when we were like, this is super fun. We should do this more often. Hey, let's start a podcast. And yeah. So watch episode 1 first, then come back to this. Some stuff does in episode 1. We'll reference some of this. Also, we do swear a lot in this. Content warning. Enjoy the show. Stream. Fuck. There we go.
Shit out here.
Fuck. Good time, folks, and welcome to a interesting live stream.
Very.
It's just Kanaz and I tonight.
Hello.
So, if you were hoping for Justin or Pale Band-Aid, sorry, but it's just us. Just us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. We can. How's that song go?
Yes.
Just the two of us. Something, 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 something. Ooh. Oh. Whoops. Hello, Millie. How are you?
Millie!
Millie.
How's it
How
going,
are you,
Millie?
my friend? Glad to see you around. It has been a while. Almost done with your finals? Let's go.
GG.
Nice. How are we? Kanaz, let you get started. How are you?
Let my silence speak words.
Okay. Let his
I mean,
silence speak words. Jesus
Could be
Christ.
worse. I could be worse. It's been
Could be
a
dead.
day.
Mm.
Yes. It is one hell of a day. I am locked out of my Twitch account for some fucking reason.
Yep. So where are you
Uh,
streaming right now, if at all?
I am not streaming right now.
Okay. You're just recording.
Well, not yet.
Oh.
You got crazy, like started doing shit when I'm trying to figure out how to fucking stream to YouTube.
Oh. Well, don't. This part of the podcast will be for just Chase's audience.
Yeah.
Christ. We should honestly. Oh. No, I'm not doing it. Fuck you.
What?
Justin redeemed sing mode.
Sing mode. Sing mode. Sing mode. Sing mode. Sing mode.
I have so much more work to do. What was even the timer on that? I do not fucking
5
remember.
minutes. 5 minutes, I believe.
I think that is for yours. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't do all of those in one thing. I can't do all of those in one thing. I don't. My phone's not cooperating with me. I don't have water. Son of a bitch.
Wait, schedule start. The hell are you doing?
Question. Should I pick the drink that is in my left hand or the drink that is in my right hand?
Yes.
chat? Left hand or right hand? Congratulations, you've actually chosen the water. Yes, it is canned water. Go frick yourself.
Oh, fuck's sake. Why can I not do this?
Aye. You set that other can aside. I did not swear. I followed orders.
YouTube, what the fuck?
All right. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
Wait, it's Millie's birthday?
I guess so.
Happy
It's been such a
birthday,
chaotic day.
Millie.
Happy birthday, Millie. It's been such a
Happy
chaotic day.
birthday, Millie. Yeah.
It's not your birthday. You! I am nice. Ha! I did fix it! Ha ha ha! I fixed it, guys. I fixed the sound alerts.
Oh, nice.
But everybody's turning up today. How lovely. There we go. Alrighty. Honestly and truly, what is it with all the fucking sing modes? Y'all!
What the fuck?
Why are you making me suffer when Kinez is already suffering?
I am
Is it
suffering a lot.
Erroneous's birthday? It's Luna's! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to Luna! Happy birthday to you! I'm a terrible singer.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Am I allowed to do the thing that I was wanting to do, which is start going through some of my camera gear that I got back today? Or are you all going to bully me more? Oh boy.
Oh, stream URL. Here it is. Why is this so fucking hard? Can I start doing this?
Because, Kanaz, we should know that anything we try to do with the League of Chaos, we just inherently get bullied.
Fair.
Oh, fuck it. Millie, you would never bully me. Justin would. You should have heard. Actually, that reminds me, I have to do a thing. You should have heard what they were all saying about me last week, because I was not here for last week's stream, and they all kept talking shit. Can you believe that, Millie?
Were we?
Yes, I was watching you the whole fucking time.
There is no proof whatsoever.
I have recording of the whole thing.
Yeah, there is no proof whatsoever.
Right. Oh, that's the rule. The rule of bully chase.
Yeah. That's just normal.
You guys follow it to the T.
Of course.
Well, let's put it this way. They also bullied me with money, considering I now have to pay other people because I wasn't fucking there. See, I don't do that with the others. If they're not
No,
there, I don't say they have to pay other people.
I mean, it was a build battle. That had to be a prize.
The prize could have been respect.
That is no prize.
What about respect from your peers?
That is no prize.
Oh, come off it. Alrighty.
That's not it.
Come on. Come on with it. There we go.
Why is this not working?
There.
God damn it.
Okay. I have paid Pale Band-Aid $50.
Should have sent it to me instead.
You didn't win!
Shh. They don't have to know that.
They can go back and watch your VOD, fuckwit. It's not like you can access your Twitch anyways to donate it.
Shut up.
Fuck off, Justin. Yes, so Kanaz in his glorious wisdom last week. Why am I? Okay, quit it with the British accent, Chase. Jesus. Kanaz in his glorious wisdom last week said, "Oh, Chase isn't here. He is going to pay the winner of this build battle $50. PB1. So I just paid her $50. And like legitimately, she can confirm it.
Baby.
Decided not to show up today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. She decided not to show up because Justin wasn't here. I think that's what it was. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of hard to do a podcast with a fucking IRL voice band, dumbass.
Oh, hello there. It seems like I am now live on YouTube.
Did it go through?
Apparently.
Redeem you then? I'm not going to redeem you. I don't know how to refund him. He shouldn't have been stupid.
Somebody go into my YouTube, please. Into my YouTube channel. Tell me if I'm streaming.
To pull it up. Shouldn't have been stupid.
Somebody
are.
Go into.
You are.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how to give you your points back, fool. I am not offered that. Really? Actually, hold on. I think I can do this from Twitch dashboard. I've never looked that far into it because I haven't been an affiliate that long. It's 10,000. Thank you very much. It comes up. Yeah, no, it I was the one who said it, dude. You can't fool me.
Justin, I think you fooled him.
Give me community challenge. Oh, there we go. All requests. Wait. Where is... There we go. Reject. There! I refunded your points back. Don't redeem it again. I'm not disabling my voice.
Okay, that works.
I should disable text-to-speech again.
Why?
Because Justin abuses it.
I don't think it's an abuse.
Yes, it is. So, Canas. It's been a while. Been a
Yes,
while.
it has.
So, what has been going on in the world of Canas? Like, what's any? I've been on any movies lately? Doing any film
Nope.
things?
Nope.
That's a shame.
It is. It
I
really is.
would like to talk about
About.
because I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard the new live action How to Train Your Dragon is
I haven't watched
what
it.
people are saying is like almost a masterclass of how to do live action movies. Like live
I have.
action recreations.
I have a hot take on this. I haven't watched the movie. I probably won't watch it anytime soon. I think it's a very unnecessary remake, and that movie should not exist.
Oh, care to defend your stance there? I mean, that is pretty spicy. You're about to anger everybody in chat right now.
I will do that simply and unquestionably. I'm gonna say the original movie, has been out for less than 15 years. It's no time for a remake. Let the movie age, goddammit.
Isn't what? Trying to think, because Disney's doing their live action of their classics
Moana
right
1.
now.
So Disney's suffering from the same fucking problem because Lilo and Stitch should not have been made to a remake. Granted, the remake is a good one, but it still shouldn't have happened.
Whoa. I would like to say that the amount of people that I have heard rip that new movie apart, is ridiculous.
Okay. What is the argument that they're doing for it?
The argument that they're doing for it is that because they didn't remain faithful. Like, I understand if you're doing a live action thing, you want to change maybe a tiny little bit. They cut characters completely out of it. They changed the meaning of the entire character dynamic between Lilo and her older sister.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they what I'm saying in regards to this specific issue is, yes, they did make some changes to the movie. There are changes I actually agree with. Some of them, not all of them. I hated that they cut one of the main villains. I completely hated that. However, the change in dynamic between Lulu and her sister, that was a really good change because it was very shallow in the original movie. Like, yeah, oh yeah, she's taking care of Lilo because of the parents are gone and stuff. Okay, yeah, that whole thing remains the same, but now Nanny, Lilo's sister, is actually she has dreams. She wants to do shit in her own life. She actually wants to do stuff that actually the death of the parents and her having to take care of Lilo actually destroy those dreams. Well, not destroy, but put a big hinder in it. So yeah, that's the same. But if you're gonna do a remake and you're gonna change some things, that's fine. I actually think that's a good thing to do. But if you're gonna do a shot by shot remake, like, come on. And it's too soon for it. Like, I do agree that Lilo and Stitch, which I did like, I do think it was too soon for a remake. Don't even get me started on the fact that they're doing the Moana live action as well. Like, that movie came out like what, 6 years ago?
More than that, I want to say.
Like, the second Moana movie was just in theaters, like a year
Yeah.
ago.
When
Like,
did
come
Moana come
on.
out?
That's a good question. Let me figure it out.
2016. So fuck, it's been almost 10 years.
It's almost 10 years. Wow, that's fast. Well, still,
Wait,
it
hold
feels
on then.
too soon. Wait, hold.
Yeah,
When was
15
the
years for
original?
How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, 15 years.
It's still too soon. I can get the Snow White remake, for example. I can get that. Snow White was a movie that came out in 1930 something or 1940 something. Like, come on, I get that. But that's the fact that they're doing like they did the How to Train Your Dragon movie. The fact that they did the Lilo and Stitch. That's just milking money, and that's just like I
That's
feel like there's
Hollywood
not
now,
even.
though.
I know. But even like if you're trying to milk nostalgia out of it, there's not even a lot of time to do nostalgia there.
Well, kind of. So here's the thing which you got to think about is, all right. So that movie came out in 2010. We'll take me as an example. 2010, I would have been 7. I would have
Yes.
been kind of in that target demographic for that original movie when it initially came out in theaters. So as like kind of like as a 22-year-old, I could see the appeal of, hey, if I really enjoyed this movie when it came out in theaters, I'd never watched it in theaters, so I can't really say that. I mean, 2010, well, I live in the middle of bumfuck nowheres. But for those kids that like in that kind of like almost like around like almost 10 years old, kind of like tween shit like that, having this come out now, yeah, you got a lot of these kind of like college kids in a sense that are gonna be like, hey, this movie I really enjoyed when I was a kid came out in live action, let's go check it out. So I think they're targeting college kids.
Probably it's kind of the same thing, but if you're trying to target those kind of kids, instead of doing a live action, do a sequel. That's it. That's what they did.
They did several.
No. I know they did, but make another one. That's the thing. Like,
well, here's why they didn't want to make another one though. Is because the director said that he's told their story already. That the creator of it.
They just leave it be. Do a new fucking franchise.
Like, you might not have the same success though. That's the Hollywood greed coming out.
I mean, that's the problem with it. But like, come on, there are plenty of stories to be told yet.
Oh yeah, which is they also plan on doing a live action Shrek. What?
Oh god, that one I don't want to watch.
No, that's one of those ones. See, here's the thing. That's one of those ones that when it came out, it was really like into the pop culture of that year. Whereas if they were to do a new one,
it's not gonna work as well.
It's not gonna work as well because they're gonna try and it's either gonna go one of two ways. They're gonna like do kind of what How to Train Your Dragon did and like recreate it almost shot for shot, but live action in a sense. Or they're going to try to modernize it with modern pop culture, and that's just going to put a lot of people off.
Yeah, pretty much. That's one movie I don't want to see made into live action. Like, that's a timeless classic, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to do remakes of those things.
No, you don't. And kind of like going off of what you said about like it explore more about that like world in a sense. What the fuck are you doing? Because I knew you were playing Minecraft. Oh, you're just blowing up the realm.
I'm blowing up the realm.
I'm gonna find a massive crater. Am I not?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
It's even slowing down everything. So
of course it is. You're blowing shit up. So kind of like what I've been doing or kind of focusing on with the stuff I'm writing for Accentria is the sense of I know for a fact that at any given point there is going to come to a time where the characters that I've written, their story is done. But if I have enough world building done, then I could like carrying on with different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also not even sticking in the same timeline.
Yeah,
So
of course not.
here's a pitch for possibly another kind of like How to Train Your Dragon movie. So I think the latest one, like the latest animated one, kind of touched base on this towards the end, where it's just like they jump forward like a few years in time when they go back to like visit Toothless at the very end or whatever. So what I would want to see is, all right, let's jump forward 100 years. What does civilization look like in the modern era of the How to Train Your Dragon universe?
Yeah.
That I think would be interesting to see.
Yeah, something like that is fun. Like you can set stuff in the same universe and it would be fine. It's just I think that they're overdoing it with the remakes and stuff. Like one example of it would be I think it was well done, especially at the beginning. Oh God, with the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I thought it was very cohesive at the beginning. It was pretty good. I think it was working fine at the very start. Then they overdid it. They overstepped, and they did a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have ever done.
Such as?
Starting to mess with the multiverse and stuff. I think it's way too convoluted, and they tried to do some stuff that didn't pan out, and they just abandoned everything.
Like it's kind of like go on that. I watched the Eternals in theaters.
Yes.
It drives me insane still to this day that nobody in the MCU has made it any kind of like big deal about giant hands just sticking out of the ocean now. I think in one of the more recent ones, it was like briefly glossed over in a news thing in the background of a scene. But other than that, that's just not something you gloss over. Yes, I understand. It's just like, I haven't seen the latest Captain America. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen the latest Captain America.
Well, that's the thing. But there were so many movies in between the new Captain America and the Eternals that happens in the time between those movies, and nobody acknowledges that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, for example, you know I'm a huge fucking Star Wars nerd.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, I like a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I know not everything is gonna be super cohesive with each other. Like,
right.
I take for example Andor, which just wrapped. There are stuff that happened on Andor that don't necessarily align with the original way things were written. But that's fine. That's fine because at least they're trying to be consistent about it.
Right.
Like there was a moment in Andor, especially in season 2, and not to try to spoil anybody, but Mon Mothma goes ahead and gives a speech about some event that happened. That same speech happened on Star Wars Rebels on the TV series. Yep. That same speech, that same moment happens, but it differs vastly from one version to the other. And the Andor one is way superior, honestly.
Some speculation I heard about that was that it was actually two different speeches talking about the same thing.
Yeah, that's retconning a little bit because they're like they tried to fix that issue because the thing is Tony Gilroy did not like the original speech. So they went like, we're gonna redo it so that it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
with what we're creating, and that's fine. That works. I don't have any issues with that because at the end they are trying to retcon it to make it seem like they're two different speeches.
Hmm.
But in original, like the original thing is, it's the same speech because it's at the Senate, and there's only one moment where she can do that at the Senate.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, okay, of course things are not gonna line up perfectly,
Hmm.
but that's the beauty of it. But they at least are trying to acknowledge that it happens, and that's where I think the MCU is messing up a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially in this latest phase, like I think they're messing up because of their continuity. They're having issues with their continuity.
Thunderbolts was decent. Have you seen the new Thunderbolts?
I have not. I actually haven't watched any of the new MCU movies
I didn't
since
watch
last year.
I didn't watch Captain America. I did watch Thunderbolts because I had like a day off, and I was
Mhm.
just like, because normally all the theaters around me don't show it until like 7 o'clock at night. But
Yeah.
I was just curious. I looked it up, and
Mm.
like the closest theater to me was showing it on like a Tuesday at fucking 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Mm.
Just like, screw it. I'm gonna go watch Thunderbolts.
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, I did. I just went and watched Thunderbolts, and it was like really good. There was a few bits in it that I was just like, okay, yeah. I'm
Mm.
interested to see what they do with the Fantastic Four.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Justin just said in my chat, Thunderbolts was the first Marvel movie in a very long time to get me mildly excited about the next Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's something I've heard a lot of people say. Like it finally got people excited to see something new, and I get that. Like honestly, I heard a lot of things. I haven't watched it because I haven't had the chance to watch it. But I do want to watch it. I was like, ever since I saw the promos, I was like, dude, I really want to watch this shit.
It's dark. That's the thing. So that's
Yeah,
kind of what like a lot of modern movies, they're like very like bright and poppy and like lighthearted and stuff like that. But if you go back to some of the original stuff, like the original Iron Man was dark.
oh, it's dark. Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
No, not even. Iron Man 3, dealing with the whole PTSD of Tony Stark, that was dark as shit.
Exactly. Like a lot of like old Marvel, like good Marvels, I'll say, that was
Yeah,
dark.
really, really dark.
Where I mean, yeah, yes, some of the newer stuff isn't quite as dark. I
Mhm.
mean, the last Spider-Man, No Way Home,
Oh yeah,
or
that wasn't.
yeah,
That's,
No Way Home. Yeah, that was
I mean, it
it.
had its moments. It got dark at the very end.
It did, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same. Honestly, same. It was pretty good.
It's like, yeah, I'm okay if a movie goes like kind of dark. That's okay. Fucking handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like what you're saying is that the biggest thing is when you have such a large IP like the MCU, like Marvel, and even Star Wars, kind of like you're saying that you have so many different hands in the same pot and so
Mhm.
many different creative ideas that a
Mhm.
lot of the time they just don't communicate with one another.
Yeah.
And that is what I feel is like the big issue with a lot. I mean, like when the MCU first started like coming out, wasn't it? Because I know Jon Favreau did a lot. He did a lot of the original Iron Man, but wasn't
Yeah.
he doing a lot of just Marvel in general?
He was involved in a lot of things, not necessarily doing it himself. Like he didn't make the Thor movies,
Yeah,
but he was very involved at the very beginning. Then he kind of handed it off because he was no longer as involved because he got stuff like other things like Mandalorian or stuff like that.
Mhm.
And he also felt like his run was over. Like he had done anything and everything he wanted to do with it. And let's face it, like the whole first 5 phases of the well, not the first 4 or 5 phases, but all the way up to Infinity War, the fucking MCU is pretty cohesive. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good lesson on planning and storytelling that most studios could even benefit from. Like a great example of it, and people are gonna hate me for this, but the fucking DC universe,
Really?
the DCEU could have learned a lot from Marvel at that point in time.
Okay. I thought you were being like, yeah, it's really cohesive. I was being like, really?
Oh no, no, oh no, oh no,
You know,
no, no,
like the
no, no,
exact
no.
opposite.
Yeah, no, no, no. The DCU was a fucking mess. Like,
Yeah, because you had
here's,
fucking Snyder being like, I want to release my own cut of this movie.
I mean, I get it. The story behind that is very interesting as well, and I
Didn't
get
they
that.
release a
And
whole
it,
doc behind that too?
well,
Like of why he
the
wanted
whole
to do
reason,
that.
yeah, the whole reason that happened and the Snyder cut was a thing is simply and straightforward because Snyder had to go out because somebody in his family passed away.
Oh.
I think it was her, like his daughter or something like that passed
Yeah,
away.
someone like close to him, yeah.
So the problem with that was they gave it to the other director, and the other director like completely screwed up the Justice League thing. But here's the thing, and here's the thing people don't like to hear, and here's a take that has gotten me into an actual argument with people. This the Snyder cut is fucking bullshit.
Okay.
So if the original cut of Justice League was terrible, the Snyder cut, like the way I saw it is when I finished watching the Snyder cut, I said I've just wasted 4 hours of my time.
Wow.
That's
Cause
how bad I think it
let's
was.
put it this way. I haven't watched any of those. So I don't feel like I'm in a position to comment on it. Considering the fact that I never watched any of those films. So I can't be
Fair,
like, oh well, uh, this reason, this reason, and this reason.
fair. Well, the thing about it is, I think that they should have left the movie alone. I originally rated the original Justice League. Uh, I said it was. I was giving it 3 out of 10.
Okay.
The Snyder Cut went up to a 4,
All right.
so it is better than the original, but it's
But
still fucking bullshit.
yeah, like
And
pointless.
people get mad about that because they think like, oh, it's great. It's the same like going back to Star Wars for a moment. People are claiming and clamoring Andor because, oh my god, it's the best Star Wars thing, like the best thing Star Wars has ever done and shit. Like, dude, it's not the best Star Wars thing it has ever done. It's not as perfect as people claim it to be. It has a lot of issues, but it's still a really great product. I will admit that it's a really solid product, but it's not the best thing that Star Wars has ever done. Not by a mile.
In your opinion, what do you consider is the best thing Star Wars has done?
The best piece of Star Wars media ever is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
That's the best piece of Star Wars media ever. A very close second to me, and this is a personal opinion, and a lot of people do not agree with me. The Last Jedi is a pretty fucking solid movie.
Oh, the yeah. Justin
The
says Clone
Last
Wars series is the best.
Clone Wars series is a fucking amazing. I was actually talking about this with some cousins last night. Uh, because they were saying, "Oh, Andor's great. Andor's the best thing ever." And I was like, "No, it wasn't." And the thing about this is, people are constantly getting annoyed all of a sudden. And I've seen the argument of, dude, why is Star Wars woke? And this happened a lot when The Acolyte released.
I knew that the Acolyte got ripped to shreds because of it.
Yeah, honest to God, The Acolyte does not deserve the hate it got.
I haven't watched any of the new Star Wars shit, so that's the thing is like I haven't really caught up. I've been catching up with any of the new Star Wars stuff. I just haven't had the time to like sit down and watch a
Understandable
full show.
Yeah, understandable. And honest to God, The Acolyte, what the problem that The Acolyte has, I believe, is the fact that Disney did not believe in it from the start. So it's
Okay.
probably the show with the least, with the lowest budget in all of Star Wars, and it suffers from that. But
yeah, I can see
it's
that.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, but it is really good. And going back to the other point and to answer to Justin what he's saying about Clone Wars, people are, like there are two camps on Star Wars at the moment. People hating on Star Wars for being too political or too woke.
It's Star Wars.
Dude, Star Wars has always been woke. Like fuck's sake, there was a leading lady in the 70s that did not need to be rescued. That she was not a damsel in distress.
She rescued the guys. Fuck's sake.
She rescued the guys. So Star Wars has always been woke. Star Wars has always been political. Some of the best episodes of Clone Wars are episodes where it's all about the Senate.
Yeah.
There's this one episode that I fucking love. I can't fucking remember the name of the episode at the moment, but there's this moment where Ahsoka meets a guy called Lux Monteri. That's a separatist. That's a separatist political figure. Well, the son of a separatist political figure. But he's also very aligned with the separatists. And they get to talk, not in a fight, and they get to explain to each other, and you realize the separatists weren't that wrong.
That's a lot. Like that's what's great about like shows like that is, and that's another thing. Like type of Clone Wars as well. I've heard the arguments like, oh, Clone Wars shouldn't be canon. It's a kids show. They did some really dark shit in Clone Wars.
Oh fuck yeah!
Holy fuck!
Clone Wars being a kids show, I was like, damn, this is not a kids show at one point or another. Like there are very brutal deaths. There are very brutal moments in the series.
Anakin War Crime Skywalker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that is they also say that about Rebels.
Yeah, that's true. Chopper.
Chopper's a goddamn war criminal.
Chopper is the best. I love Chopper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Chopper is just insane. He's a complete and utter war criminal. But yeah, Star Wars has always been political, and people who say, "Oh, Star Wars shouldn't be political," they don't know shit.
I saw an interview. It was with a street artist, and he was the dude that I can't like I don't remember what it was or what movie it was or whatever, but he was just like, yo, you need to put street art in Star Wars. They're like, well, why?
Oh yeah,
political turmoil. Like, go to any any country anymore, and you're gonna see graffiti. You're gonna see street art. That is how it is. You don't see these. And he goes on to explain, like, that is one of my biggest gripe is with modern movies and stuff like that, or futuristic movies, is it's these beautiful, pristine cities. I mean, he goes, yeah, you'll see that because people will clean everything, but you turn into an alleyway, there's gonna be street art all over the place.
Of course. Oh, fun diamond. Yeah, of course. Like, come on. Street art is a lot, and you don't have to go far to see it. Like, I hate to get political into this, but I need to get political into this. You just had the No King's Day protests.
Yeah.
This weekend. And holy shit, the amount of people there and the amount of graffiti that popped up all over the place protesting Mr. Orange Spice, Mr. Cheeto Man. Like, come on. Like, of course, graffiti is an act of rebellion. Graffiti is just like it's protesting in the very best sense of the word.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and like, come on, like I found something very hilarious. I know you haven't watched the show, but and I urge you to watch it in Andor. Um, there is a moment in Andor where a senator for a specific um, planet is being arrested in the
Hmm.
Senate. Like in the lobby of the Senate, he's being arrested for asking questions about something that happens in the show. I was like, oh well, yeah, that's just fictionalized. Like they wouldn't fucking do that all the fucking time out there in the real world. Cue to last week, and there's a protest in California, the riots in California,
Yeah.
and there's a senator for California crashing into Christy Noem's press conference and going like, "Hey, I'm Senator this and that, and I want to ask some questions." And they proceed to get him the fuck out of the room in the same manner as that scene.
That's yeah. Like in film and television, and Justin just said in chat or the Twitch chat finally caught up. Sabine and Rebels graffitied all the time, and
Oh,
Thrawn
absolutely.
actually called that out. Like in the scene where he like hair or in one of the scenes in Rebels, Thrawn was sitting there and he's explaining to one of his fucking underlings, one of the Imperial pricks. He's just like,
Hmm.
"Do you know what this is?" And he's gesturing towards like a chunk of wall that he had ripped out and put in
Hmm.
his office, and it was the work of Sabine. He's like, "This is the artwork of famous, like infamous rebel Sabine Wren." And he explained
Hmm.
like he went into the significance behind it, like this is the Lothal cat and da 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 da. And it was just that really really nice detail of a lot of the time as well. It's just like the art is tied to the individual, and sometimes it's very obvious.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the beauty of it too. That I am of the mindset, and Dopa always gives me hell for this because she says I'm fucking in love with Thrawn. But
Yeah, you kind of are. I'm kidding.
I mean, in a sense, but I do believe that both in Legends and canon, Thrawn is one of the best written characters because of that, because he gets that part of the warfare. Like
Yes.
he back in Legends, not even Rebels right now. Like back in the Heir to the Empire novel and all the other the Thrawn trilogy from the old days. Like, dude was one of the first lines of the book is, "You do you know about art? You know this is art from this and that species and this and that planet, and this will tell us what we need to know about the battle that's
Yeah.
that's that's coming ahead." And like, dude, like this guy is fucking brilliant because he studies that.
And yeah, kind of like going off what you said, there is not many characters that I'm aware of.
Mm,
Like folks in the comments, or I might actually see if I can put this on Spotify. Make this an actual. We should make this an actual series.
absolutely, I would
um,
love to.
hey Spotify, how's it going, buddy? No, so
Let's
one of the
research how to do that.
things, yeah, I will. Um, one of the things that I love, because I actually my library, my bookstore downtown, they actually have. I saw some Thrawn books there. Almost bought them.
Yeah,
Probably should run down at some point buy some. uh,
yeah.
Regardless, it's because from the reading and research that I've done for the characters for Blades of Elmium and the other
Mm,
stuff I'd like to write, not many characters, if like what I've written or read, have that kind of mentality of, all right, we're going into a battle. We're not going to focus on the battle tactics. We're going to focus on the culture. Not many people really, like, as far as I'm aware, focus on the culture side of things of, all right, let's get into the mindset of our enemy, but instead of, all right, how are they in traditional combat? What's their culture like? And that will
Yeah.
tell us more than just their fighting style. One of my favorite moments in the Ahsoka series. Did you see that series?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Was when he was trying to do research on Ahsoka, and he's reading the thing, and he'll like one of the very few times in Star Wars media where you see Thrawn actually like mildly shocked / concerned. He's just like, her master was General Anakin Skywalker. It's like you can tell he's just like, ah.
Okay,
all
yeah,
right,
well,
impulsive, reckless,
yeah,
just going off the checklist of, okay, this is not what I'm used to.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing about it, like, because there's even more context to that, but for that you need to actually read the novels. But in canon, Thrawn is one of the few people who knows who Darth Vader is. Like, he actually knows. He actually knows because he works with Anakin, and the thing is, he didn't have to be told who Anakin was.
He fucking figured it
Or
out.
who Vader was. He figured it out because he had worked with Anakin at one point.
Yeah. Yep. He did work with Anakin, and then he saw Vader using the same tactics. He's just like, something's fishy with this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
the
pretty
chosen
much
one gets killed, and this motherfucker shows up.
Exactly. Like, that sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound quite right.
Oh, Christ. But that's the thing. So I'm not like no spoilers for what I have in mind. There is a specific character that minor spoilers for Blades of Omnia. She will show up, but not the vision that I have for this character in the future is eventually like there's gonna be a very interesting I wouldn't say character arc, but a very interesting point way down the line in the future with this character. But
okay.
I was trying to think like, all right, what is the best way to make this character give off the vibes that I want it to? And I want to do more research on Thrawn because this character in particular is like I want this character to have. I wanted to have the kind of same like cunning and all right, how can I get to my target through other means than just brute force, throw all the knives, daggers, just throw every piece of artillery at it. How can I get to my objective through other means?
Okay.
And it's like in the actual book itself, there will be a few bits and pieces of kind of mind games in a sense, but not really. Like, I don't want to spoil much.
Yeah, no, understandably.
In like with how I've kind of like starting to structure out like the magic system in my world, there's there's like a magic hierarchy. So in other like novels and stuff like that, like if you have magical abilities, you're basically shunned from society and like you're like witch and stuff like that. In my setting, it's kind of the vice versa of like, so say you like you have your nobility. Well, there's actually there's 3 stages of nobility. You've got the folks that have like the super rare magical powers. Like there's one ability that is essentially like healing in a sense. Like the individual can like use their abilities and mend like men's bones, the skin, stuff like that. They're like the highest tier, like people that have like that level of magic, and I have it broke down into like a chart basically. So people that have that level of magic is like the highest, like supreme nobility in a sense. Then you've got like the second step down from them is, all right, these folks have kind of more like general abilities, like that one can like not like extreme fire, but basically just like a little bit of like fire from their hands, like basically like minor fire magic. All right, they can like light a bonfire, or they're like working blacksmithing and stuff like that. If for the normal people, or for like the average Joe, but that's kind of like the second tier, and then like the regular humans, then people that don't possess magic, they're kind of like at the bottom level if we're talking about nobility. So you get your three tiers, and that kind of like works its way down the chain as well. Like your commoners in a sense, you've got the folks that are like the highly gifted magic, the kind of like mid-level, and then not gifted at all.
Yeah.
And then in each of those kind of like magic tiers, there's different like abilities. In the highest tier, there is essentially like shadow magic, dark magic. And that is the only one that is, in a sense, it's almost kind of like necromancy, but not really. That's like the only one that is going to be shunned. That is, and I don't, not even shunned, that is getting imprisoned and kill on sight. Like that is basically everybody that possesses that magic. It's essentially like from a dark entity that corrupts them. That's why it's really like get rid of them, because like there is a dark entity at play and we want to try and get rid of this dark entity, and people that have this connection to it are essentially like pawns in this dark entity's game. And that is kind of like, and this character that I want to kind of like, that is going to be like the cunning kind of like playing in the like the shadows and like in the background, is like has like this like dark power, this like shadow magic, and that's kind of why I want it to be like cunning and not be like, I'm going to just like it. I want it to be like, all right, how can I play mind games and stay in the shadows, essentially? How can I get my way but not make myself known? Because I know if I make myself known, I have a lot more problems to deal with, and I won't be able to accomplish my goal.
Of course.
And that character is not actually going to be the main antagonist of Blades of Elmia. Yep. She is not even really going to be an antagonist yet. Spoilers. Basically, I have an idea that if I ever can adapt this into a TV show, she will play she'll play a much bigger role in the show. But if the TV show doesn't happen, then I'll figure out a way to adapt it into other mediums.
Yeah, of course.
I was actually talking to someone about that, like, because I was just like, yeah, if I do this, I'd want to do it. They're like, oh, I mean, like, oh, well, writer directors are kind of a bad thing. It's like, no, I wouldn't direct it. No. I'd produce it, because I already have a kind of like a Stan Lee-esque kind of thought in mind of this like omnipresent entity called the Librarian. And incidentally, every library that, like, occasionally you open the door to a random library, and similar to the TARDIS, the library looks quite bigger on the inside. And the librarian kind of looks the same every time you see him.
Hmm.
Anytime, and I'm going to fucking write this in any contract, anything,
Hmm.
anytime that the librarian will be shown in any kind of media
That's
that
gotta be you.
I sign off of, it's going to be either my voice or it's going to be me. I am the librarian,
Yeah.
and the librarian is going to be an omnipresent god, essentially.
That sounds fun.
So they characters like because that's what I kind of want to do is just like characters in the library. They're in this like special library. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
they close the door, open it again, just a regular library.
Hmm.
Basically, it's like whenever something important needs to happen, and they end up in the library,
Yeah.
and let's just say someone needs to inform them of something, or sometimes it might even just be random chance. Will they open the door to the library and the librarian's there?
Yeah. Kind of reminded me of something.
Oh,
Uh, I mean, it's sort of a kind of similar concept in regards to the library thing. But there's this book I read, like I think a year back, called The Midnight Library.
mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it, by the way. But it's about this girl who is trying to unalive herself.
Mm.
And when she does, she's transported to this library where the caretaker of the library is actually like the old school librarian she had in primary school.
Okay.
And she keeps on showing up every time because she keeps on taking different books and there are alternatives to her actual life. Like
Ooh.
if she had stayed with somebody else or if she had done
Yeah.
something different. And that concept of the library that you just said, it kind of reminded me of the Midnight Library.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fascinating.
It's a good book. It's a good read. Uh I
I have
read
to
it
check out at
like a
some
year
point.
ago. It's I do believe the author is Matt Haig or something like that.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a good
Um,
read.
but kind of like going off the librarian thing, I was thinking
Hmm.
about it as well. So you know how I want to do Project Noiris at some point, and how that's
Absolutely.
technically actually inside of the like Essentria universe.
Yeah.
Remember how I described like how like it's gonna be like a shipbuilding, you get to build like different things and stuff like that. I low key want one of the things now to be like it's like a really expensive thing, but when you do it, you just build a fucking library attached to your ship,
That would
and
be
like
funny.
you open the door, and it's just me and a fucking It's just like we mocap it, and it's just like welcome to the library, just something like that, and then people, it's just like, what the fuck's this bitch doing here? Wait, how are you here?
Yeah.
Because in the
That would
game,
be funny.
you're pretty much the only like human on the fucking ship, unless you are like with you're doing co-op, then it's you and your
Yeah.
mates on the ship. But you're the only human on the ship. So
Yeah.
when you open the fucking door, and this is like old kind of like vintage, like classic style library, and there's a dude sitting there, just they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Who's this bitch? How'd you get here? What the fuck?"
Yeah. That would be funny.
Especially if it's the same thing where it's just like you close the door, you open it up again, and it's just like this like really like rudimentary like like modern esque ship library where it's just like
Yeah.
digital like books and shit. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Cut back 5 minutes later, open the door again, and it's the classic like Doctor Who with the big on the inside. It's just like,
Yeah.
huh?
What the hell is going on here?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that
God.
would be really funny. That would be really fucking funny.
Fuck.
What up?
Trying to think, but yeah,
You?
it's like with but yeah, it's like actually keeping on that.
Mhm.
Kind of like going back to what we were talking about earlier, like having like being able to continue on like the continuity of certain things, like How to Train Your Dragon, going back to what we were talking about earlier. And all right, so you do like your How to Train Your Dragon, all right. But if you think about it, though, is like how I said, like, all right, 100 years in the future, whatever. That's kind of what I'm gonna do with this entry, because it's just like I've already been brainstorming as I've been like going back to writing. All right, what is the futuristic version of this world going to look like, and like what is the future plan in a sense? So like we'll have the kind of like low fantasy-esque like castle, like old towns, shit like that. But then at the same time, I also want to have, all right, now we're in the sci-fi realm. Now we've got spaceships and stuff like that. But things that, and this is going to be where it's going to be like, all right, trying to find the fine line of continuity is shit that happens in the past, even if it's hundreds and hundreds of, even like thousands of years in the past compared to what's going to be set in the future, I still want that to kind of have a minor effect, like stuff that gets referenced. And that's the biggest thing, kind of like we were talking about earlier with continuity and stuff like that, is when there's too many hands in the pot and you have too many creative directions, it's easy to say, all right, we allow like creative freedom, you can do whatever you want. But at the same time, I also feel like if you have an already established IP, it shouldn't be up to the director's discretion in the sense of, oh, well, I didn't do any research on this IP. I was just hired to make this film. In my opinion, it should be the case of, all right, I guess I feel like people should, like the directors should be more passionate about the projects that they shoot, and they're not just doing it for a paycheck. What are your feelings on this?
Yeah, that should be that would be the ideal.
Yeah.
In every world, but unfortunately, that's not what happens.
No, not
in
at
every
all.
world.
I mean,
but yeah, that should be the way things happen.
Because when I was on, I mean, I'm not going to say names or anything, but when I was on the movie set last fall, the director was super, like, granted, pretty much everybody on set was super into that project. It wasn't like, yeah, people were there for the paycheck, like, especially like the grips and stuff like that. But a lot of like the DP, the director, the producers, everyone was super into the project, and it was great. It was wonderful because you're able to sit back and watch these people come together and create this small little thing. And it's like, I mean, granted, I didn't do jack shit. I drove a fucking Ford Transit van. I did sweet fuck all. But
still, that also helps, because here's the thing. I've worked on quite a few movie sets, and you know this.
Yeah.
I won't reveal which, but yeah.
Same.
I won't reveal which ones.
Your projects are a bit bigger than mine, though, I will admit.
Some of them. Some of them. But even then, like, even that, some of the projects I've worked with, especially some for the streaming networks and stuff, they're soulless as fuck.
I've heard that a lot. So
because
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No. Because I was about to like kind of talk about a movie that I can talk about this because they fucking publicized the shit out of it. I wasn't a part of it, but go ahead.
Oh well, yeah. I was in a more than a movie. I was in a TV set. For a TV series we did for one of the big streaming networks, and it had everything to be a fucking success. Whoops, I messed that up. Sorry, I'm playing Minecraft as we talk.
Yeah. I'm like going through camera shit because I just got some of my gear back today, And he's just playing Minecraft.
Absolutely. So, this one movie set I was in, I mean TV set, it had everything. I was just a post production guy, so I wasn't even like involved in filming like a lot, and a lot of bad shit happened. Like there was hurricanes that destroyed part of the set. One of the actors was actually killed
I
in an
did not
accident
know this.
in
Holy
a very
fuck.
freak accident. Yeah, in a very freak accident. There was a very freak accident while transporting the cast and crew to a second location, and this was due to budget
Ooh.
restraints. And so
What?
they didn't have the budget to wait for a day for the crew to rest up.
Oh no.
Mind you, this was way before I came into the show.
Yeah.
So this was like a couple of years before I came in as a post production supervisor, and I have heard about this, and then I actually met everything. So the driver was tired. The driver was sleepy,
Yeah.
and he was driving three actors on his van, and the guy fell asleep at the wheel.
It, as someone who like I've driven talent. Like that
Yeah,
was my main job. That do you and here's the thing. Everybody kept telling me to take naps and shit like that. But it just
yeah,
it's hard because I had the entire production telling me it's like dude, fuck like you're not doing anything for the next 3 hours. Take a nap. Like nope. I want to be ready. I want to be like wired up and ready to go. But I always made sure that I had either caffeine or like I always made sure that I had some kind of stimulant to keep me awake. And
yeah. Mhm.
fuck's sake, and like for me specifically, because so for my set experience, I wasn't hired by production. Production
Yeah,
turned around to the transportation captain and said, hire, like, this is your budget, hire 3 dudes.
mhm,
And he reached out to the place that I work at, say, hey, you guys always have good drivers. I need 3 drivers. So they
mhm,
called up 2, just like some of the contacts. But when I got back, they said, hey, because I was doing a drive that day that he made the call.
mhm.
I got back and they're like, hey, we talked about it. Like the management talked about it. We want you to, like, if you want to do this, we will let you. Like, we want you to do this if you want to do this type of deal. Like, we want you to see actual production, actual set.
Yeah,
And because of this, because I wasn't hired directly by production, they did not know I was driving an hour from home to get to the hotel where everybody else was staying at,
yeah,
to grab the van, to then go drive 30 minutes to crew parking.
yeah,
So if call was at 6, pre-call was at 5. We had to
yeah,
be there to get the pre-call people at 5, which means I had to be at the hotel by 4:30 because it was an hour
yeah.
drive. I was awake at 3 to 3:30 to
Yeah.
leave the house.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
then
those streams.
yep. And then we would be like it would be like a 15-hour day, like the
Yeah.
15-hour day. So and that was like 15-hour day, like 13 of that was filming, like an
Yeah.
hour to get everyone back, 30 minutes to get. So I wouldn't be getting home until, so say call was at 6.
Mhm.
We'd wrap at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And then I wouldn't be getting home till 10:30, 11
Yeah.
on a good night. And
Yeah.
then I mean, granted, call was delayed the next day because that's how call times typically work if you're not in the industry. Um, but like when people found out that I drove an hour, they're like, "Dude, what the fuck?" I was just like, "Am I?" You know. We did an overnight one night. Have you done overnight, Skinaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an overnight. Was the first and only night I have ever done a 5-hour energy.
Yeah.
This is the only time. I think it was
Yeah,
like
it happens.
I think it was like 3 a.m. I cracked it. I was with the other transpo. I was with the other passenger van driver. I was just like, bro, I can't anymore. I pulled out. I'm like, go back. This is like, you hitting it? I was like, I'm hitting it. Crack it open. I down the whole thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm wired now. Holy fuck, I'm awake. Damn.
Yeah. It's hard.
Oh, God.
Overnights are especially hard.
My God. I remember I got home. It was so surreal because I drove up there and I had my sunglasses on.
Mhm.
And I drove home with my sunnies on. It was such a surreal experience because I'm going home and
Yeah.
it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I remember distinctly because I had my phone on my phone, like I had my phone, my car mount. I remember
Mhm.
distinctly. I hit record and it's just me going, the sun is over. I said, the sun is over there. And I just like pointed to my east.
Mhm.
When I came up here, the sun was to my west.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired. I want to go home.
Yeah, that's what happens. Well, yeah, that pretty much that's what happened on that specific set, and that delayed
Yeah.
everything. And you could see that they were just trying to make the project because they had already spent a lot of money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like circling back to this whole thing, because they had already spent a lot of money on the production side of things, and there was no passion there. And what ended up happening was it was a good story. It was outsourced because it was an adapted thing from a graphic novel that
Oh,
is
that's
actually
even
pretty
harder.
good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It's not the most popular graphic novel ever. It's not even like a comic book, but the original guy was involved. The guy who penned the graphic novel.
Night,
Have a
bro.
good night, Justin. And yeah, at one point when I got on board the project, it really did seem like they were just doing it just not to waste the money.
I got you.
So yeah, and the passion was completely gone, and it showed, and the whole TV series flopped.
Yeah.
And it was rushed too, because the thing is, since people had no passion for it,
Mm-hmm.
the guys who were doing the visual effects were not
Just didn't
responding
care,
to
yeah.
us, the supervisors. Like, we were getting no answers from them at any given point. So the whole thing suffered from it, like, a lot.
Was this when we were still doing LOC? Was this before or pre LOC or post LOC?
No, this is when LOC was already a thing.
Okay, because I distinctly remember talking to you one night and you going like, these fucking VFX people.
Yeah, those are the guys. Those are the guys.
Okay.
And the thing is if you watch the series and you pay really close attention to it, or even if you don't pay really close attention to it, you can see the terrible work the VFX people did.
Yeah.
Like, I remember at one point, the original shot, this one shot, it needed some whales to be in the shot,
Mhm.
and they were gonna CGI the whales on them.
Oh boy.
And when they, like, that was all fine. I was like, yeah, we'll CGI, we'll CGI them. Like, we can easily get there. We don't have to see a lot of detail. We just have to see them moving kind of in the distance in the water, so they're gonna be obscured. So that's fine. We'll get some pre-made assets to do this and save us all a lot of time of rigging and stuff. They ended up going, and this was after I left production to go work on something else. When I watched the series, they ended up going for still images of whales,
What the
and they
fuck?
kind of animated them,
Oh my god.
and you can tell.
Yeah. That's
You can tell it's horrible.
that's like something that I'm like afraid of if I ever if like anything that I write actually gets to that point of yeah, it can be like adapted to like the big screen is I like and I guess that's a good thing of like working coming from like being on set and stuff like that and knowing this kind of stuff is the amount of I'm going to make sure that crew is taken care of because at the end of the day if the crew isn't taken care of
Oh
the
yeah.
project's gonna it just won't look good. You can
Oh,
throw all
absolutely.
kinds of cameras, all kinds. You can throw all the money that you want on the gear, but at the end of the day, it's the people that make the project.
And
Because
it's
you
the
could,
smallest of peoples too, eh? Like
yeah,
we're when we're talking people, we're not talking oh the director or the actors. No, no, no. Even the truck driver needs to be taken care of, because if the
yeah,
truck driver is not taken care of, your shit is gonna be late to set, and if your shit is
exactly,
late to set, it's costing you money.
yeah.
Like, come
Because
on, like even those guys are like they're probably some of the most important people on set.
yeah, that's. I was told that's why I always like the production supervisor. If for
Mm,
some reason the production supervisor is listening to this, mate, you're amazing. Fucking love you, miss you. Call me. uh, but he said because first off, every single time I told anyone my age, they asked how old I was, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm
mm,
21 because I was 21 on this project." Their jaws dropped to the floor. So like,
yeah.
what the fuck? And because I always just like, I mean, one of my biggest flaws is I put myself down all the damn time, and
Yeah.
you yell at me all the fucking time when I do it. But because I was always just like on the thing, it's like, I mean, you guys the one making the movie. I drive the passenger van, and they're like, Chase, look, without you driving the van and getting us to where we are going, we wouldn't make the movie. We couldn't make the movie.
Hmm.
And that's what they were like. Every little bit counts. And that's the other thing as well. It's just because everyone was so nice on that production, I was always like relatively quite optimistic about it, like being
Hmm.
there, and that kind of like constant optimism rubbed off because whenever we got in the vans, it was like, "Hey, how are things going?" They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
actually, really good." It was that kind of like optimistic small talk. They kind of just
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
lighten the spirit a lot.
Yeah.
And if I guess if you were listening to this and you want to get into the film industry, honestly and truly, like I kind of skipped a few steps because I
Yeah.
didn't start as a production assistant. But honestly, start as a production assistant. And if you're not sure how to get that far, believe it
Mhm.
or not, look up your local like film equipment rental house
Yep.
because a lot of the time people go to those guys asking for crew. At least they do
Mhm.
with where I work because I work at an equipment rental house and we get requests for crew all the damn time.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
you
it works
never
here.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, it works down here as well. I am no longer right now, at the very least, in the film industry. I haven't been for a couple of years now. Uh, but yeah, that's how you get started. Like if you start getting into contact with people who are in the industry, even as like you say, as rentals, people who rent the equipment, that's gonna put your foot through the door, and that's how you start.
Yeah.
And honestly, like getting started is what needs to happen at the very beginning. Like you just need a kickstart. That's the reality of
Yeah.
things.
What I was told was just at the end of the day, what I was told was like from the guys that have been doing this for fucking longer than I've been alive. Not even kidding. That's another thing that made him feel super old. So I'd be like, I was born in 2002. And they're just like, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. Because I've been driving them around. They're like, just like, be yourself. Just, what did the production supervisor say? He said, something along the lines of, he said, even if someone is treating you like an asshole, treat them with the utmost kindness. Because especially in this industry, you never know who could be your boss on the next project. Because you could be a PA on this one, and you could be a producer on the next one. You just never know in this industry. So always treat everyone with the utmost respect and kindness. And this is, again, coming from someone who's been doing this fucking for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's really the biggest like takeaway is just, look, if you guys want to get in the film industry, just honestly be kind and be yourself to a certain extent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly, that's one of the best pieces of advice that we can ever give somebody who's trying to get into this industry. Like, if you manage to get onto a set, doesn't matter who you're talking to, just be kind. Because they can open the door for you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Who knows?
And even if they don't open the door for you, they still might give you a key to another door.
Exactly. This industry is all about context in the very end, so the more context you can get, the better.
Because, I mean, back in high school, I never thought in a million years that 4 years after graduating, that I would have actually been on a professional film set. Never in a million years that I think that was actually going to happen. And a lot of it was luck, I will say. But it was just being kind. I mean, the job that I'm in now, they would have never been like, hey, we want to put you on this film set if I wasn't kind. And they knew that what I was doing, I'd fit right in. So they're like, yeah, go ahead. Oh my God.
That's pretty cool.
We have so many returns, which actually, that speaking of which, because they just wrapped, speaking of like soulless movies, Hallmark.
Oh boy.
Hallmark. And I genuinely want to know how in the hell, like, let's put it this way. They just wrapped a movie, like last week or whatever. They are expecting this movie to be fully released by holiday time this year.
Yeah.
That turnaround time, though, is
that's Hallmark for you.
Surprising. Considering this is like the third Hallmark movie that they've shot in the past 4 months in this area.
Yeah, Hallmark has a tendency of making movies quick. Like, that doesn't mean, like, some of them are good, some of them are not good. But that's the price.
Christ alive. They put so much stuff on social media about this movie because because this movie is it's a movie kind of like about the Buffalo Bills football team.
Okay.
Well, sorta kinda.
Yeah.
And it's called Holiday Touchdown, A Bills Love Story. It's just
Okay.
fucking cheesy thing. And literally, like I said, don't worry, guys. I'm not like literally all of this is public knowledge. Everything is public knowledge because a group called Casting Buffalo kept putting out so many casting calls for extras, and they kept putting out so many like photos of like the locations, the sets, and everything that they did. And so it's just like, hey, don't worry, I ain't gonna get in trouble for talking about this. But yeah, it's just I want to know how Hallmark is able to turn around movies that fast. Like,
I'm not sure how they do it, but to be fair, that is not their main business.
I know it's not, because that's why I'm not asking how in the hell do they have this much money to keep throwing at thousands of Christmas movies a year.
Yeah. No
But,
idea.
like,
Honestly, no idea.
What kind of like editing sweatshops do they have?
Yeah, honest to God, like what the hell?
Because this is ridiculous. Like, because the project that I was on, we filmed in like October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard if that thing's even close to coming out yet.
Yeah.
I have no intentions of watching it because it's like a horror movie, but
Oh, you should. We should do a watch party.
Oh hell no.
Why not?
Because it's a horror movie.
Yeah, but you worked on it. You shouldn't
So?
get spooked. You shouldn't get spooked.
Oh, trust me, some of the prosthetics were very unsettling.
Oh no, I get that. But you already saw them. You shouldn't be spooked.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair. Seeing how they did it versus here's the reason why I feel like I couldn't watch it is because I would be able to watch it and go like watch the scenes and go, oh yeah, that was the night that everything went wrong. That was the night that the fucking production team almost died.
I mean,
that like straight up though, a fucking like power line blew like 30 fucking yards from them.
damn.
It was a very, let's just put it this way. You know how on a set there's always that like that one day where it feels like everything just is not going right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that day.
Yeah, I
Legitimately,
figured as much.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Went wrong. Yeah.
Shit with locations, shit with camera. One of my favorite quotes of all time was from, I think it was the ItsAChas dude, the dude that was doing like the fake blood and shit. I take him back to base camp, and home dude goes in. Like, I walk in with him real quick just to like grab something that I had left there, my laptop, because I was just doing some writing. I walk in, and the production supervisor, who was alone at the time, looks at him and goes, "How's it going?" And the dude goes, "I about picture wrapped myself several times throughout the night." For those of you that don't know what picture wrap means, picture wrapped basically means done shooting, like done. You're like done.
Yep.
Like you can have like a wrap on the night, but picture wrap is like you're done. So
like it's finished. You're no longer gonna shoot.
Yeah. He was like, everything that went wrong. I was like, oh man. But that's on every set though. Like,
oh yeah,
we had it easy.
It's not a real film set if something doesn't go wrong.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't happen. Yeah, you know what the fun part is as well is on like if we do that fucking watch party, I could be watching some of the scenes, and point at the laptop and go, "That's my laptop," because props lost the prop laptop, and mine was the only one that was close enough in shape and size. So production was just like, hey, buddy, we need your laptop for the entire day. And I'm like, okay. I didn't get, because I forgot to bring a book because I was doing writing towards the tail end of the production. It was the last day too. And they're like, hey, we need this. And I'm like, okay, here's my laptop.
We need your help. Thanks, bud.
At the end of the day, as they were getting close, I go up to the AD and I'm like, can I get my laptop back? He's like, that's yours? I was just like, yeah. He's like, yes, please, before we take the car back. He's like, thank you so much. It's like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need it, right? I go, I just didn't do any of my writing. He's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, because I was just opening up the program and I got a text that's just like, hey, do you have your laptop? It's like, yeah, I always have my laptop. Can you like can you bring it over to the picture car? I was just like, yeah. So I bring it over and the director, I like, here's my, like, I got my laptop. The director's looking at it, the DP's looking at it. They're looking at still like dailies from the day that they were shooting with this picture car that had the laptop inside of it. And they're like, yeah, close enough. Can we take it? I was just like, yeah, here you go.
Oh god.
The thing, what I was worried about though was the entire like back, like the screen side of it, or like the top of it is sticker bombed the fuck. So I was worried that they would cover all of the stickers, but they only needed it for like the side profile. So I'm like, okay, good.
Oh, good.
I was worried that they were gonna like cover the stickers or do something to it, but nope, they didn't do that. So I was like, okay.
You got lucky, man.
I did. It was only for side profile shots.
I remember this one time in a set that the prop car, the car they needed to use, was not available. And the only one that was close to it was my old car. And I was like, okay, we can use it, no problem whatsoever. This was like not even a professional film set.
Yeah.
Like, this was a student film
Oh.
that I was helping out on.
Yeah.
For some college people. And they ended up scratching my car.
Oh no!
Yeah, they scratched my door.
No!
Like, damn, you guys.
Did they at least like compensate it a little bit or no?
Kinda. They gave me like $25.
Oh well.
I mean, they didn't have much, man.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that is fair.
I mean, to be fair, one of the guys did spend a while trying to polish it out and stuff.
Okay, at least they tried. They weren't like, "Oh, here's some money. Sorry, bro."
No, they did. They did try to fix it. They couldn't, but they. I mean, they kind of helped buff it out a little bit, but in the end, the paint was completely scratched off.
So speaking of paint and stuff like that, so
yeah,
you know how like picture cars, especially when it's a cop car look-alike, how cops are supposed to cover it when in transport.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for the picture cop car that we had on the last night.
Oh, god damn it.
I had to transpo that fucking thing back into the city to park it.
No way. You get in trouble.
No, because it was 3 a.m. Nobody else was, no cops were out, at least not where we were going. So
thankfully, because that could have been wrong really bad.
Well, here's the other thing. It was like some fictional town name, and it was like a fucking 1998 Chevy Suburban or something.
Okay, yeah, like, that helps, but still, you could have gotten into so much trouble.
But like, it said police on the side of it. It had a light bar on the top of it. It looked like a cop car, and we were taking it into the city to park it. and the other pass van drivers behind me, because we were the last few there. It was just transpo team left, and crew parking and set was the same place basically. So we're taking it back, and he's from the city, so he's from the area. He's just like, all right, we're on the phone with each other. He's like, maps is taking you in, like, through a different part of the city. That there's a much easier route. There's gonna be less cops. Follow me. So he gets in front of me. I'm following him. Mind you, again, this is 3 a.m. on the highway. Yeah. The amount of people that would, like, I'd be watching headlights, like, coming up fast. They get close enough to me to see police on the side of my vehicle. They would fucking slam on the brakes so hard. They would just so fast slow the fuck down. But mind you, this is 2024. This is like a city, and here you've got this 1998 Chevy Suburban fucking cruiser on these, like, it was slightly lifted too on these, like, bigger, bulkier tires. Like, these guys are slowly passing me, going, probably going, is this a fucking cop? Where the fuck is this town? It's not even a real town. What the fuck is going on? These poor bastards were probably, like, thinking that they were, like, drunk driving or something, because I'm on the phone laughing my goddamn ass off with my buddy who's in front of me, because he's seeing the same thing that I have. He's seeing these cars, like, coming up behind me fast, because again, 3 a.m. nobody's on the road right now. Seeing a cop car and just hitting the brakes hard, like, nope. And then they slowly come past me doing the speed limit. They're like, I can tell they're like, what? Is that a cop? I don't know. Is it what? I don't know. Just the confusion on these guys. I wish I was I wish I was in their vehicle.
They're just going like, oh, is that a cop? I don't want to find out.
Yeah, I don't want to find out. Yeah. Oh man, that was fucking great.
That's
but
hilarious.
Some of the people, like, I got to talk to, like, the stunt driver. Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to meet a lot of very interesting people on set.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that story about the police cruiser is insane.
I have a photo of that fucking thing. I'll post that in photo so you can see, like, it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. No, it was very,
it was
very much
police.
like, you should not have gotten pulled over. Like, you should have gotten pulled over, sir. How did you make it out alive? Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking find it now.
Yeah, look for it later.
No, I must find it now.
Right now we're doing a podcast, sir.
I am still talking on the podcast. You're playing Minecraft on the podcast. Go fuck yourself.
I'm mindlessly playing Minecraft, mind you.
This is true. I have your stream pulled open, and I'm just watching you fucking place ice and place torches.
Hey, I made a huge crater, and now I'm making it a lake.
I can see this. That was that
Sue
project.
You have a guy.
I see him. I would like to point something out. I'm not modded in your chat. Why?
I don't know. You should be.
You had one of those the other night, and I went to go fucking ban his ass, and I'm like, I can't? What?
Yeah, that was weird, because you should be. Last I checked, you were modded in my chat.
Unless someone revoked my permissions.
But that's weird. I need to check that once I am able to log into my goddamn account.
Twitch. So, for the folks at home listening to this, Skadaz's been streaming on YouTube this entire time. Skadaz, why have you been streaming on YouTube?
Because I cannot log into my Twitch.
Knaz, why can't you log into your Twitch?
So I have two-factor authentication, like everybody should, okay? So I have my 2FA on, and it's linked to my cell phone number. And for some reason, I got logged out of my Twitch today. Like, well, I'll just log back in. I go in, put my credentials, and as always, it tells me, oh, we're sending you a code to verify that it's actually you and not have any issues. So I go like, yeah, send me the code. And is this your phone number that ends in these two numbers? And I'm like, yeah, that coincides with what I do have in my phone number. Okay, we're sending you a text. The text hasn't arrived yet. That was at 10 in the morning.
Oh, I didn't realize I was 10. I was that early in the morning.
Yeah, I was setting up some stuff because I've been trying some stuff out today. I'm currently kind of jobless
What? Motherfucker.
because,
Wait,
well, what?
son of a bitch. Why are we learning about this now?
Well, because here's the thing. You knew I was working a second job,
Yeah. Oh,
like
I
a
knew you.
temporary
Yeah, I
second
knew
job.
that you had left that place because, like, the
Yeah,
reason you were there, like, the person came
yeah,
back. What about the first one?
yes. Okay, so while I was doing that, I could not do the carpentry job
Uh huh.
because I could not manage both things at the same time. So I was doing minor stuff on the carpentry job, like basically designing a couple of pieces of furniture that we want to be able to sell
Yeah.
independently of the rest of the business. So I was doing that, so that's fine. Problem became that in order for us to be actually able to produce that, we need to kind of have the budget to do that.
Oh no.
And for us to have the budget to do that, we kind of do need to have projects going on. And we haven't signed a single project in the last 3 months.
Oh no.
So right now, I came back to like I said, the carpentry thing is with my dad.
Yeah.
So I talked to him the day I left the other job. I talked to him like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, how's this looking? Uh, like, because we had prospects. I was like,
Hmm.
how's it looking? Like, are we gonna have projects soon? And he's like, well, this guy asked for a quote, and we went over, checked his apartment and everything, and we gave him the quote. I'm like, well, that's good. Well, yeah, but he did say that he was gonna go on his honeymoon right after we
Oh.
did that, and I was like, well, yeah, that's fine, no worries. We can start work once he's back because he said he liked what we showed him, and he was like very much on board with everything. So we're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Let's do that, and we'll wait for him to come back, and we'll start seeing about his project. The guy already came back, and he hasn't talked to us since.
Oh,
He hasn't
I thought
said
somebody'd be
anything.
like, knowing how most of your stories end, I
Yeah,
wouldn't have been surprised to have been like, oh yeah, the guy died on his fucking honeymoon.
no. The guy came back, hasn't said a thing. Uh, we since we're checking out a couple other possible projects, but nothing has panned out. I've already ran out of saved money, so I cannot do shit
Jesus.
at the moment. Yeah, I cannot do shit at the moment. But that's fine. Today I was looking into other opportunities, other career opportunities. So I've been sending resumes all over the town, but I've also been testing tools to get like side hustles and stuff,
Yeah.
and to make some passive income because you always should have some passive income. And
So
I already have a little bit of passive income, but it's not enough.
yeah. So so me dropping fucking $80, me dropping that money last week kind of was nice for you. Good.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it
Twitch
wasn't
takes a
enough
fucking
for
cut.
Twitch to
Yeah.
pay it. So
What?
it wasn't enough to get me over the threshold. I'm sitting at around 30 something bucks on Twitch. That's
Motherfucking.
fine. That's fine. But the problem is
How
like
do I
right
YouTube
now
membership bullshit? I'm kidding.
that is fine. So right now the problem I'm having is the fact that I don't have more money saved up,
Yeah.
and I have a little bit of credit card debt. But that's fine because I've been
Yeah.
surviving off of that. But the problem is right now I no longer have an income. This is the second week I don't have an income, and my passive income stuff is not gonna
Passive.
generate is not gonna generate anything right now because I have Twitch, but Twitch only pays me like $50 every 4 months ish, which is kind of when the subscriptions actually reach the threshold. You probably kickstarted that by a couple months, which is nice. With
Just
the
look, bro.
your
Gotta pay my
yeah
employees, my unofficial employees.
yeah pretty much. So that happened, and I have a couple of things that are generating me money for unused bandwidth
Okay.
on my computer, but those generated slow as shit. And the payout for
Yeah.
one of those, well, the payout for one of this is a minimum of $10, and that's gonna pay like in like 8 months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's $10 every 10 months. It's not terrible. The other one supposedly is gonna pay me when I reach 5, so it's probably gonna be half the time. I have some T-shirts I sell online here and there,
Yeah.
very passively because I don't even market it, and stickers and shit on my Redbubble shop, and those are also giving me payouts like every 4 or 5 months because that one's a 20 to $25 threshold. So if I sell a T-shirt, that's good. But if I sell stickers, which is what I sell the most, that's where it starts getting trickier.
Link in
Uh,
the podcast description. I don't know how Spotify works.
Spotify, you cannot link that, but yeah, it's fine.
Go check out Kinez
Uh,
Gaming on YouTube or Twitch.
I'll put
Actually,
some
wait.
links in
We'll figure it
there.
out.
The other thing I need to do is actually because the thing is the Redbubble thing is so passive because I don't like upload a lot of designs uh often. So
Yeah.
if I did more designs, I would probably get more stuff, and that's some of the stuff I've been checking out today. Uh, I came across a lot of like tools. Some of them are AI, some of them are not.
You use
But to
AI
help
art,
me,
Dopa's going to kill you.
oh no, I'm not gonna use the AI art.
Okay.
What
I
what
would.
I no, 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 what I can do, however, and I actually have been doing that today. I was using some AI art generator, but to make pixelated stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can then modify that on my own or use that as a base for something I want to do on my own.
Yeah.
It's more like to give me a head start of seeing an idea. For example, I asked this one AI pixel art generator to make me a picture of a street taco.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have that, I know how it kind of looks, the kind of color scheme it's using and all. Now I can go ahead and do that on my own in the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna add like a little pergola on top of it, so like it's actually on the street, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use that as a little icon that you can have, like instead of a polo shirt that has a little horse, you can get the street taco shirt.
A.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So those kind of tools I've been using in order to just try to figure out some stuff.
Because yeah, that's like that's it's stuff like that using AI as a tool versus using AI as like I'm going to do this to like
Yeah.
make my life easier and stuff like that. Like I'm so uh because so kind of like setting it briefly, I no longer play D&D. Like we've like the campaign that I was in, like we're done. Which
Yeah.
Loki kind of mildly upset about it, mainly for the sheer fact of I actually like for the first time ever I commissioned artwork for one of my characters because I couldn't find anything that I liked enough. So I commissioned artwork, and I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, $200 for a hand drawn artwork,
That's
and I'll have to send it.
Dude.
But like, literally 2 weeks after I got it, we were like, "Okay, we're no longer doing this." Like, oh,
Yeah.
like okay, fuck you guys on that. It's fine. I mean, fucking life happens, and honestly, like at the same time, like I'm a little disappointed to kind of stop doing it, but also at the same time, I was just like, that's fine. Fuck's sake, Jesus Christ! Like I just don't have the time anymore. Like I've been really delayed. Like there won't be a Terraria video for tomorrow because I've just been so behind in editing. I could have done editing tonight, but I also low-key kind of got a tiny bit burnt out on editing.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to push it so hard. But literally, I was just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, this past week, like, I mean, I worked 48 hours in a 40-hour week. Like, I went in and I did stuff on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Because, well, you know how you have the Discord thing, like rats next to your name now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing more and more in my fucking thing, and I'm jealous.
Honestly, like it took me by surprise because I got it out of nowhere. Like
I don't know like what the qualifications are.
I saw no. The thing is, I went into the Ghost Discord earlier today, and they were like, "Oh, you can claim this," and I thought it was like a redemption for the server. I did not realize it was showing outside of the server.
No, yeah, it's everywhere. So I wanted to figure out how we can I want to know how we can do that for LOC Discord because I want that tag. That shit's cool. Because like, here's what I see like in my thing right now. You have rats for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's something to do with Ghost.
Yeah, it's a song from Ghost.
Someone's got Jump, and Jump is Jump Ship. Don't know.
Okay.
Sounds like some kind of game.
Probably.
Augustus or Adminity, he's got Omen. He was the first one that I saw that had a tag. Omen.
Okay.
Lilith's Killer Shack is what it's from. And here's because when I initially thought it was like, oh, it's only if you got like a shit ton of people. I mean, this one only has less than 10,000 members, so I don't know what the thing is.
No idea. And the thing is, I don't know what those things are called.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're flares. I don't know if they're something else, like badges or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely not roles. But
no,
I'm
they're not roles.
sure.
Yeah, it's like a stare or whatever. Because I know Nitro kind of rolled out a thing where you could like decorate your like little. Like if you look in our Discord right now, you see that I've got my name is a little fancy like digital effect next to it now.
Yeah.
That was something that it came out with Nitro, and they're like, "Hey, do you want this?" Is just like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it." Because I like looking fancy. Fancy. Sorry, community. I'm actually now like really curious about this change because normally when Discord pushes out a new thing, they're kind of like, check out this new thing. They just never did that with this tag thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
League of Chaos server settings. Change server icon. No. What games does your server play? Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, Stardew Valley. Oh, well, those are some of the games that we play right now. Members.
Trying to check out. Congregation. Here it is.
Engagements. Boost perks. I wonder if it's like a boost perks thing.
Maybe, but the thing is, I haven't boosted the ghost.
Well, no, like
thing.
if it has reached a certain level of boost, people like anyone gets it type of thing, you know?
Could be.
No, it's not. So level 2 is server banner background. Level 3 is custom invite link. I low key want to get to that level at some point. But I don't know. Yeah, like a level 3 is 14 boosts.
Damn.
So right now we're at level 2 boosts. Who's boosting? I think I'm boosting this.
Probably.
Because with Nitro, you get 2 by default. Who's the server? Does it say who's boosting? Sure. Okay, yes, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So it is me. See, I'm boosting the server.
Yeah.
I do want to, like, looking through it, we just have so many fucking channels. I'm half tempted to start.
Yeah, we need to kind of clear. But this is a good moment to advertise the League of Chaos
Discord, yeah. LOC Entertainment's Discord. Oh Christ!
I want to preface for anybody who might be listening this in the future. This podcast thingy has been all over the place because we came at this with no plan whatsoever.
Oh yes.
Like everything we do. Like this was a spur of the moment thing because we didn't know if my internet was gonna cut out because I'm
or his
right
power,
now. Yeah, I could have lost power any moment. Thankfully, I haven't because there's a huge storm on top of me. Actually, I think it stopped raining a little bit ago. At least it stopped thundering, which is good.
Nice. I also just realized we never Did we introduce ourselves?
I don't think we did.
I think we kind of like. I kind of did in my intro, where I was just like,
you gave an intro for the thing, but that's it.
Okay, so I'll have to like take this part of the podcast and throw it towards the fucking beginning. Hi, this lovely voice that you hear right now, annoying voice that you hear right now is Chase. I am a New York resident, not New York City. Fuck New York City. I've never been there or never want to see it. Almost did get to see it the other week, but I was almost paid to be there. Deal with that bullshit. I am joined by my lovely Mexican host, Canaz Gaming.
Hello, this is me. I'm Canaz. I'm from Mexico City. Once a filmmaker, now and a musician, now a carpenter and a musician.
In this podcast, we discuss everything under the sun, including and not limited to how to make movies, how to not make movies, what movies should be made. I'm kidding.
How to make furniture. I'm sure at one point in this live we're gonna discuss how to make furniture.
In this podcast, yeah. Actually, speaking of, that's a nice segue to our next topic. Canaz, that one apartment that you did where I had the absolutely horrible idea of the book lights or whatever, the reading lights. How did those turn out?
They turned out pretty good.
Yeah. Did the client like them?
Oh, they love them.
Okay, good.
Like we had to make a few changes in the apartment in another one of the furniture pieces.
Yeah.
That we made. So we went back, and we coincided with the client because he normally is not there
Mhm.
when we're there, but we coincided with him, and he was telling us that the, those book lights that you mentioned, those were
Yeah.
for the beds of his daughters,
Really?
and yeah, and the daughters loved them. The daughters loved
Yes.
them, and he loved them because we also put them in his bed as well.
Awesome. I'm glad to
And
hear
yeah,
that your
he was very
idea
glad.
went that far.
Your idea,
Your
your idea,
idea.
your idea. Okay, so guys, he's not giving himself any credit for this, but the thing
No,
about this is
ignore him.
we did, yeah, we did a raised closet, an elevated closet on top of the beds, and it was giving a lot of shadow. And we also put like nightstands next to the beds. There's two beds and there's three nightstands, one to each side of the bed and one in the middle of in between both beds. And on the wall we put up a decoration, and it was Chase's idea that it was looking a little bit empty. And
Kanaz's idea.
since the other thing was casting a lot of shadow, we could put some book lights next to them, on the sides and in the middle, on top of, like, above the nightstands on the wall, so that they could put it, and they could read directly, because the nightstands, on top of the nightstands and underneath the raised closets, there are LED lights, but they're providing light to the nightstands, not to the bed itself. So these other ones, they're movable, and you can pretty much put them in any way, shape, or form you want, in order to be able to read. And that was all Chase's idea, and he
Yeah,
doesn't take any
Kanaz's
credit for
idea.
this. God damn it!
Kanaz's idea. Look, so a lot of that spawned off the fact of, eh, for me personally, uh, like when lighting things, I hate direct lighting. I mean, you've seen some of the photos that I've taken. I'm much more of the ambient lighting, like
Yeah.
mixing and matching very like contrasting colors. Like again in that one photo that I took of the model,
Hmm.
with the in the clouds with like the red and the blue. It's just that
Yeah.
like, contrast. And when I saw that, it was the case of, all right, like there is some ambient lighting, but there could be more.
Hmm.
And I think this is also at the time where like, I was doing a lot of reading, and it's just that's
Yeah.
kind of where I was just like, this might like work possibly. And
Yeah. So then I proposed that to my dad, who was the designer, and he was like, "You know what? That's an excellent idea."
see, Kanaz's idea. There we go. We get all circled back to Kanaz's idea.
Fuck off.
um,
So yeah, Chase God, I'll thank you for his contribution.
yay. Uh, but yeah, it's just ambient lighting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck's sake. I turned an old C stand and oil lamp into just like this little random ass light post thing. I use that quite a bit, actually. The thing I posted on my story a few months ago,
Yeah, I remember.
I use that a lot. It's actually like decently bright.
Nice.
And it's like a because I wanted to keep like a warmer color temperature, so I found some like I think it's like not quite 2700 Kelvin.
Hmm. He's checking.
I I would say that's about 3600 Kelvin
Okay.
color wise. It's not like because I hate like really cool temperature and I hate really warm temperature. For me, if I'm lighting a thing, 4600K. 4600
Okay.
is the perfect, is in my opinion, the perfect white
Yeah.
light.
Okay.
Not too warm, not too cool. I know
Yeah.
everyone listening to this that doesn't understand lighting is gonna be like, "What the fuck you talking about? Why are you talking about Kelvin? That's temperature, measure of temperature, degrees." No, lighting. 4600K lighting.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. 46K is pretty good, honestly. Okay.
What's yours?
I'm inclined to say something somewhere around the same. But
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit more dynamic in that because I don't always like that kind of lighting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll do a little bit more warm tones or a little
Mm-hmm.
bit cooler, and
Yeah,
that
depends on the
actually you
scene.
can see. Yeah, and you can actually see that a lot on my Instagram, but not in my recent stuff that I mean, I haven't uploaded a post on my own in a while,
Yeah.
but on some of my older and more popular posts on Instagram, I have one that I did. I can't remember when it was, but it was a few years back. I was working for this production company where we were doing a lot of advertising for a TV company.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of them doing their own advertising, they would outsource them to us. So so they could focus more on their programming instead.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of this one actress that we were shooting with. We're doing a promo because they were gonna start putting some horror movie, and there was a pretty cool set, and it was lit like mostly lit by candles.
Okay.
Like we did have a spotlight, we did have a little bit of ambient light, but there were a lot of candles that
More
were
like natural
providing
light.
like
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, a lot of more natural light. And mind you, we were doing this kind of inside a warehouse, so there
Oh
was not a lot of
Lord.
yeah, there was
Oh
not a lot
Lord.
of natural lighting. So these candles were actually providing some really nice lighting,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up shooting that. And I did shoot like a behind the scenes photo where it was just
Yeah.
her in the set, like getting ready, like we're testing out the lights. Took us a photo with my cell phone, and I did it did garner like 900 likes on Instagram out of
Nice.
nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a time where I was consistently getting like 700, 600, or something like that.
Yeah, for more than I was getting. Jesus.
Yeah, like I
Instagram's so
cannot get
hard
like
nowadays.
50 likes right now.
Oh,
But yeah, but
dude,
back
I can't even
then
get
I
that. Yeah.
yeah, like it was one of my most impressive performing photos back
Mm-hmm.
then, and honestly, one of my favorite photos I've ever shot.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like kind of like what you had told me a while ago is just having that creative eye and being
Hmm.
like this frame, this is a good photo.
Yeah,
And even just like going out of your way to kind of move around and like better position yourself for that. If you were to take a look on the photo channel, which you'll see the oh, for fuck's sake, this is such a pain in the ass nowadays to do it this way. Come on, Discord, dick. Well, they've like mildly changed Discord in a sense.
Mhm.
So actually, I might be able to now that I've done that. Hold on. Half the time, it's so hard to find shit.
This is gonna be so
Buttons.
interesting for the people who are just listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys, screw you guys. No, I'm kidding. Love you. You're amazing. Where's it? Favorites. Oh, nope, not that one. I just had it. Where'd it go? There it is.
I don't know.
Ah. Da, 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 da. Uh, it was literally like, so it was one of the nights
Mhm.
I parked the van and they had like this super massive fog machine going.
Mhm.
And I just, where I had parked the van, it was backlit as fuck. So
Okay.
I just posted the photo in our photo chat.
All right.
Let me know what you think.
Let me see. I'm
Yep.
opening it up. Oh yeah. Yeah, just the right angle, man.
Yep, just the right angle. Hey Ford, I'm kidding. But yeah,
That's it.
if you look up, you'll see the car that I took into
Yeah, I
the.
see it.
Wait, now do you see why I was a bit sketched driving that
Oh yeah,
fucking
no,
thing through the
absolutely.
city?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Sis.
Also, I love how PB actually confirmed that I paid her for the build battle. I didn't think he'd do it, but he did. All right,
Oh my god.
quick break. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. Can keep the podcast entertained.
Oh boy. Um Hello everybody. This is Kineas and hope you're entertained. I hope you're actually liking like what we're doing here. It's kind of an experiment. As I mentioned, it came really impromptu. We didn't really plan for this, but like here we are. We're doing a podcast. I've done a couple of podcasts before. I actually was a guest in a podcast down here in Mexico a few weeks back. It was pretty fun. So kind of have a little bit of experience in doing this, but other than that, other than just talking my ass off, I don't really have any experience doing podcasts, and I don't think Chase does either. If he's listening to me, he's probably gonna like just yell at me. But yeah, um, let's see. What can I tell you guys? We were talking earlier about productions going wrong, and I have a story to tell regarding that. And I think this probably around the time we're gonna be ending up the podcast, so I'll finish up or not. We'll see what Chase says. But let's talk about this one production I had. It's a very tiny production. We're shooting this one film that you actually can watch on YouTube. It was kind of an experimental film. We're dealing with swords. We're dealing with only two actors. And we're shooting it out of state. Well, kind of out of state, right in the border of the state. And we had like a tiny budget. Like this was a passion project just for the other director and me. We were co-directing. We had a couple of friends helping out, and suddenly, like we had like I want to say like $300 to shoot this with. And we borrowed a microphone because this was for a competition, so we needed to use a specific microphone, so we borrowed it. Um, and we were shooting. We were about to shoot. There were the two actors. There was the co-director and me. We were doing all the lighting. We're doing all that stuff. All the producing as well. We had one producer with us who was also helping out. We had uh, one guy doing the sound, and that was the whole crew. So, what up?
That's a tight. So I had my headphones on the entire time, so I
Oh,
was
good.
listening to you.
Okay, so you've heard this story before, though, but I'm telling it to the audience. uh,
Have
so yeah,
I?
yeah, you definitely have. Um, actually, I think I was updating you as it was happening. This was a few years back. Okay, so we had like $300 to our name
Oh
to do
yeah.
to do this. Okay, and we were doing this. We had a couple extras, which were one of the co-director's parents. So because we're shooting at their place, so they agreed to be extras and just be in a scene. And we realized because this was the first scene we were gonna shoot at this location. This was day one of filming out of 2 days. Um, and we realized we were missing a couple of things to dress the scene. So I went over to my buddy. We're gonna call him Joe. I went to Joe and I was like, "Hey, dude, we're missing like some cookies and stuff like that, some crackers, just to fill out the scene. So because this is a diner scene, like well, not a diner scene. This is a dinner scene. Like they're having dinner, so the plates shouldn't be empty. There should be at the very least some crackers or cookies or something, so that it's like, oh, they're having dessert
Mm-hmm.
while they're talking. So he goes like, oh, I know exactly where to go to get some of them. There's like a store like 5 minutes away, like a 5 minute drive away. I'm gonna go there and get them. So he took the producer's David and Joe go in the car. Okay. So meanwhile, we're sitting there and we're figuring out like, oh well, the lights are already done, the shots are already lined up. So I start running a couple of practices of the whole dialogue because this was all shot in one shot. Well, most of the film was done in one shot. Uh, there were there was three scenes that we needed to do on day two. There was the one shot that was like a couple arguing, and there was the dinner scene, and basically that was it. Okay, so we had started to rehearse everything, and I was like, I'm not sure. So while you're out, let me rehearse this with the actors again. So we run it a couple of times. It starts getting a tiny bit like these guys have been gone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, he said it was 5 minutes away, and grabbing some cookies must have taken them like more minutes. Why aren't they back? And the phone rings. Oh, we've been in an accident. What do you
Yeah,
mean we've been in
I
an
remember
accident?
this now.
What do you mean we've been in an accident? Well, yeah, we were turning around um, to get into this one street because we realized that this was at the height of the pandemic too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember you
we
called me.
realized, yeah, we realized that the other store is right in the middle of where the vaccination effort is happening. So it's gonna be hell to get there. So I remembered about this other store the other way around. So I pulled into a driveway in order to make a U-turn. This, mind you, this is a two-way street.
Yeah.
And as I'm pulling back out, a motorcycle hit the car. Uh,
Oh.
and on the motorcycle, on this bike, there were two people, and one of them went flying and landed and is not moving. Like, oh shit! What do you need us to do? Stay there. We're handling it. The girl is being treated. It was a girl who flew off. The girl is being treated. Paramedics are here. The police are here. I'll keep you posted. And we were like, oh shit! Oh man, this is gonna give us a little bit of delay, but it was not their fault. The guys in the motorbike are at fault, and they were not wearing helmets. And like, god damn it, like eh, they were we were not that worried other than we're gonna like be delayed like a couple hours. So we're waiting, we're running the scene again, we're like starting to we decided to start making all the foley. Like we improvised the booth, and we started recording all the sounds of the swords. uh, and suddenly we get another call, and guys, this time it was David calling. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but they're taking Joe in because and we're like, what? But why? He's not at fault. Well, the problem is the police said that since it's a motorbike versus a car, he kind of is at fault, even though the other guys were drunk. and were having a lot of issues, and they were not wearing helmet, so they're taking Joe in. They're detaining him. They're arresting him. We're like, holy shit! What do we do now? The actress that was working with us was Joe's fiance,
Oh
so
no.
she starts freaking out. So now I'm here on set talking to Joe's parents, talking to Joe's fiance, and trying to keep them from panicking, while the other actor is helping me and the sound guy is helping me as well. But now we have three people freaking out, three people trying to calm everything down. The producer's trying to figure out what to do over there. Joe is in handcuffs in the back of
Oh
the police
my
car.
god.
They take him out, and we don't know what the hell. David goes right behind them. Uh, like he rushes to the house, grabs his car, and goes right behind them. Orders us to stay there and just wait for updates. And meanwhile, like I managed to calm down the situation, and we managed to call a couple of friends who are lawyers and ask for their advice. They're like, "Oh, you do this. Like, don't tell Joe not to say anything,
Yeah,
and
typical
stuff
like
like
lawyer
that."
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and keep me updated. And if we need to go, we'll go, because they all are friends of Joe as well.
Me-
And they were like, "If you need us to go, we'll go." Like,
Meanwhile, I can't remember like when like the time this is happening, but he calls
yeah,
me too. He calls me because
yeah,
he like, if I recall correctly, you just needed someone outside of the situation to talk to, just to be like, I need someone. Like this is before you met Dopa too,
yeah.
right?
No, I was already
Ah,
dating Dopa, but well, not dating Dopa. I had already met her,
yeah, but it wasn't.
but
Yeah,
we hadn't
it started.
really
Yeah,
started, because this was also right before Christmas, I believe.
yeah,
Wait, no, hang on, no,
and
never mind. I think it was November. Then I hadn't met Dopa just yet.
yeah, because
No,
he's
I
like,
no, I hadn't. I hadn't met Dopa, but because when I met Dopa, I showed her the film.
oh, okay,
It
yeah,
was like a month before
because
I met
yeah,
Dopa.
because he called me because he just needed someone to be like, I just need someone to like, dude, everything is fucked. I need someone to talk to. So he calls me and I'm just like, yo, what's up? He's just like, bro,
Bro, this is going on.
this is some
So
bullshit.
yeah, exactly. So then Joe gets taken in. He gets into a county jail, uh, and we are all like, "God damn it! What do we do?" We're talking to the police. His dad goes over there. Uh, his fiance's dad goes over there too, and they're freaking out. They're talking to the police like he shouldn't be arrested and all. We end up having to post bail for
Yes,
him.
they
So
all had to post
suddenly,
bail.
all suddenly the fucking short film that was budgeted for $300 went over budget by like 1,000%. We ended up paying
Just that
around like a
fucking
thousand bucks for
post bail for the
everything.
prick.
For
Hey, buddy.
everything. So yeah, it was funny. But yeah,
Didn't
that was, and he got absolved of it too.
did he?
Yeah,
You also got your money back.
after like a couple of months of fighting it, and all the other guys were found liable, and they were supposed to pay, and I don't know if they
Uh,
ever paid.
fair enough. Um,
But yeah,
fucking. Didn't I do something on that project? If I recall, I did VFX on that shot. There was a thing.
no,
Didn't I do VFX? Or was that a different project that I did VFX for
that,
you
that was
guys?
that was a project a couple, or like I think 3 months before that. There was a music video, and you helped me
Yeah,
out with a shot,
yeah, I did
with some
VFX for that.
VFX for a shot. Yeah, you did VFX for that one shoot. Because and you helped me out because I was running out of time.
You were, yeah. You, cause if I remember
I,
right, you're like, you hit me up. You're like, I can't pay you, but could you please do this? I was like, I don't care.
Can
Yeah,
you
if I can.
please help me with this shot because I'm having issues with it, and I cannot finish it in time. And I'm editing these other 10 VFX shots
Yeah.
that are tiny minuscule details that I need to finish, and I need this major effect done,
Yep.
which wasn't that major, honestly. But
It
yeah,
took me a bit to like once I figured it out, I was just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
just boom, boom, boom. I think what was hard for me initially was the fact of like trying to understand the context of the scene, considering it was all shot in Spanish, and I'm sitting there I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
yeah, I remember that. But yeah, once you got the hang of it, it came out really quick.
I think I did that when I was at school.
Yeah, I think you were. Yeah, I
'Cause-
think you were still at school.
No, like in like
Oh,
I
you did the effect in
a
school.
fucking class because my independent, like I took so many independent studies that was like learning film. So
Yeah.
I remember I was just like, yeah, my buddy down in Mexico that I met, he needed help on a VFX thing. So I just did it there because I could like at the time I didn't think I had a very powerful machine. So I just let it render when I went to my next class. Why use my processing power when I could just use the school's?
Fair. Yeah, fair. All right. I think that's a good and long enough podcast.
Fucking 2.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
This podcast
went
is
over.
off the fucking. First off, we need to find time to do this again because this was enjoyable. I do
this was
hope
really
this.
fun.
I do hope this takes off. It probably won't, but who knows?
We do need to make this happen a little bit more. We can probably find a way to do it.
What days are you available normally, other than
I
Mondays?
don't know. We'll talk about it later off the air.
Off the air, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
In the next one, we can talk about how we met. Hey,
Oh boy, yeah.
that's a story in and of itself.
Yeah, we need to structure it a little bit more, and we need to come up with a
Why?
name because right now we don't have a name.
We don't have a name, but why structure? See, here's the thing.
No, because it's too long.
2.5 hours.
Like we can sit down and make two of those in like two podcasts in one go.
Nah. First episode will be a long one. Next episode,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, knowing us, we won't.
Well, it'd be alright. It's calculated. But on that, folks, I do hope you enjoyed this first episode of a podcast presented by the League of Chaos Entertainment. I know. I've been your host. It's Chase.
It's Knass.
And we'll see you on the next one. Remember, sorry, we'll hear you in the next one. Hey.
Exactly.